All that we say is, in the name of the Lord and Savior, we give thanks to the Most High by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. As it says in Colossians 2:17, whatsoever I do in word and deed, do all by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Shem Mashiach Yahushua. So, questions about Exodus 20th chapter, I believe, and which is Exodus 20th chapter is giving us the 10 Commandments. In Exodus 20 and 13, it says, "Thou shalt not kill," which is thou shalt not murder. It says kill here, but it means murder, unjustifiably so. Because you couldn't eat any meat. And the Most High gives us a dietary law in Leviticus 11 chapter. You couldn't kill anything. So it's talking about thou shalt not murder unjustifiably. Killing someone is unjustified in the Most High. So when you look at Zechariah 11 and 5, this is what's going on right now on a high level. As I just gave you those statistics, it's 810 people died in jail since Sandra Bland was killed. As they say, she committed suicide, if you want to believe that. And so far in 2016, 629 people in America, just in America. That's a lot. We just finished half of the year. So in Zephaniah 11 and 5, it says, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty." So we being enslaved, and right now we have camera phones that we can just turn on record, go straight to Facebook, instantly go into the world, instantly. Or YouTube, instantly. You have that ability. Right from your phone, right from your camera phone. Hear what it says? "Whose possessors slay them." They're killing us and hold themselves not guilty. What's the verdict for killing us? And you see it from start to finish. It's always not guilty. When we say you murdered over 77 million of the so-called North American Indians, 35 million of Issachar, over 100 million of us coming from the shores of West Africa to the Americas. Who possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Hanging us on trees. What's the verdict? Not guilty. Emmett Till, the 4 little girls in Birmingham, Alabama. I remember every month in the Jet magazine, a brother that was able to make celebrity status was hanging on a tree dead. Yeah. On a tree dead. And hold themselves not guilty. What's the verdict? All the time is not guilty. And they that sell them say, Salaki, can you hold on? I'm dealing with this. I ain't finished the scripture yet. whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Most High, for I am rich. Now, nobody can discern the fact that all of our oppressors, who's the so-called white man, the Edomites, have us in captivity, sold us on auction blocks. That's how they got all this money. Of all these years and years and years and years and years of free labor. Didn't have to pay anybody. You what it say? And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Most High, for I am rich. Not only that, bring it on home today. The economy was shut down. We spent over $1 trillion a year. But we supposed to be the minority. $1 trillion a year? They selling us everything. Why? Because we want to listen to the Most High. Rules and regulations. His laws, statutes, commandments. So here we are now, in the condition that we in, looking at how we're going to get out of it. There's no way out except for through the Most High. By Shalom Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the anointed Savior. It said, Blessed be the Most High, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So where these pork chop eating preachers at? They're supposed to be on the front line, seeing our people being gunned down. Everybody's seeing it, everybody talking about it. So where they at? Say they pity them not. They're about their money. They're about making their money. They can't go against the grain, against Esau, because it's no different than the ones that was in charge of having Mashiach Yahushua put on that tree and killed. They're no different than them. They're the same spirits, because you don't see them out there. Why aren't they out there? Since they have a voice, why aren't they out there? They ain't talking about just praying either, because they're not praying to the right power. That's how people would know that they're Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. They would know that they're the 12 tribes of Israel. Wouldn't talk about they know Gentiles and they under mercy and grace, and they're not under the Most High's law. So first and foremost, they saying that you don't have to follow the Most High. Anytime you tell somebody that you don't have to follow, you're not under the laws of the Most High, you're not under His rules and regulations, then you telling them that you don't have to believe in Him. You don't have to follow Him, but follow them. Now make sense of that. Make that make sense. This is the same people, these same preachers that say, hey, they own shepherds, that's the leaders. Pity them not. They the same people that we talk about right here in John 11 chapter and verse 47. Then gathered the chief priests moment. Y'all gotta see this, the same people, the same spirits, the same type of spirit. Why you don't see it happening? Because it's the same spirit. St. John 11:47. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees, a council, and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans were who? The so-called Italian Caucasians, who was a superpower of earth at the time, shall come and take away both our place and nation. See? That's the problem that you see we having right now. Why we don't have any high-powered leaders that will step up and do what's necessary to gather people together, because they under the rulership of the system. Just like when the guy spoke out against the gays, they told him, if you don't shut up, we're going to take your non-profit status from you. What happened? Whoop, shut up. Because they're under the guidelines of the government. Just like it's no different than you hear what is happening here. It's the same things happening in our time. It's no different. These are the same people. Same pastors, same feeling, same everything. They telling people, our people, they Gentiles. And we the children of Israel. Because you're a Gentile, then just not talking to you. You know, one of my friends, one of my best friends died thinking he was a Gentile. He had first, I got his Bible, 1 Corinthians, Acts 15. Acts 15, all highlighted. Letter to the Gentiles. Because he died a Gentile. He wouldn't listen to me telling him that he was a Hebrew Israelite. That was too much for him. He wanted to remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's what's happening. That's what our people are dealing with. They're dealing with following the way of the enemy. What else can I say? He come forth in his last. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Totally, he's doing what he's supposed to do. We are not doing what we're supposed to do. So, Most High told us in Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken, meaning listen diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So you know that we wasn't above all nations if they are worried about losing their power with the so-called white man. How are we above them when they worried about losing their power with the white man? So therefore, regardless of how they teach or whatever they're bringing forth, they were not following the way of the Most High, his laws, statutes, commandments. Therefore, we were not above all nations. This is the kingdom. This is what's being set up for us. It's already prepared. It's just a matter of us coming together and do what the Most High say, do, and we're going to be above all nations. It says, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if, that's a condition, thou shalt hearken, meaning listen unto the voice of the Most High thy power. You see, we have to follow his rules and regulations. So, just like Muhammad Ali, he decided, I'm not going to war for America. My war is right here in the streets of America. I gotta fight for my rights here. They stripped him of his title for 3 years. So they can say you have freedom of religion all they want to. That's just a lie. Because when you try bring it forth, then they shut you down. So is it that you have it or you don't have it? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, that's just something that's for them. The only way we have it because the Most High have his hand in it. Only through the Most High. But war is all throughout the Bible. War is all throughout the Bible. We was warriors. We was warring and we was going through what we had to go through to make it in war. We was doing it. Part of our culture. It's part of what we do. In, the time that we were able to. Right now, it's not our time. It's not our turn, I'll say. But oh, it's coming. look at 2 Samuel 22. 2 Samuel 22. Second Samuel 22. Let's look at it's King David. It says 2 Samuel 22. And no, before I get that, I want to get Ecclesiastes. It's a lot here. Go to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, so you know. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Verse 1. Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So we're going to jump to verse 8 because it names different, time for everything. It says, verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. See? So there's a time of war. Let's go to 2 Samuel 22. Before we even go there, let's go to I like y'all because I was asked a question about brothers that go to war and so forth. So we got to deal with war. Exodus 15 and 3. Yeah. Exodus 15 and 3. It says, the Most High, who's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, the Most High himself is a man of war. See? Most High is his name. So when you do in war, you have strategies of how you're going to take somebody out, take somebody down. That's why when you look at Mashiach Yahushua said in John 10:30, I and my Father are one. I and my Father are one. So he's a warrior. Matter of fact, get Revelation 19:11. Just to show you our power, who also is called the Destroyer. Because what is he coming to do? Revelation 19:11. Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. That's pure righteous power. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. This is a Mashiach Yahushua. And in righteousness he does judge and make war. That's our power. He's coming to judge and make war. Like father, like son. His eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Powers and authority is going to be given to him. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture, his clothes, his vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. So his vesture, his clothes will be dipped in blood. And the armies which were in heaven, the angels followed him upon white horses, pure, righteous power, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite, that means kill, the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. What do you think that is? That's the law of the Most High. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. See? So, when you look at Isaiah 63, and This is something that you look at the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says Edom. You look up Edom. It says figured prominently in the prophetic scriptures as a scene of great future judgments. And it tells you to look at the scriptures. See notably Isaiah 34, 5 and 6, and where we going here, Isaiah 63rd chapter. So now we can go there. Let's follow what it is, since Mashiach coming to judge and make war. Says his vesture, his clothes going to be dipped in blood. Let's see how that's going to be, how it coincides with what they know in writing concerning Edom. It says future prophecy, so that lets you know that Edom would have to be dealt with in the future. Future prophecies, it says, as a scene of great future judgments. So they gave Isaiah 34 and 5. It says, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Heaven, right here on this earth, powers and authority is heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. And you read Idumea in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Says Idumea says Edom, Rome. The same ones we just read about. The Romans, the so-called Italian Caucasians, who were the superpower of the earth at the time of Mashiach walked the earth and the apostles. Edom, Rome. So his sword will come down upon the Edomites and upon the people of my curse to judgment. What's that curse? That curse is leprosy. You know, no pigment, no melanin. Listen, this is what they gave us to look at. The sword of the Most High, while Mashiach is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, and for the Most High, while Mashiach hath a sacrifice in Basra. That was the capital city of Edom. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Edom, Rome, dealing with the Edomites. So now, it's a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So now, when you look at Isaiah 63 and 1, as they gave us a look at, let's look at it and read down from there. Because remember, Mashiach coming to judge and make war said his vesture going to be filled with blood. So, and it goes along with what you ask concerning war. You know, because the Most High is a man of war. In war, you have strategies of how you're going to kill people. So Isaiah 63 and 1 says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Just like we just read in Isaiah the 34th chapter. This that is glorious in its apparel, I mean its clothes, traveling in the greatness of his strength. The Most High is giving him the strength, the power. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. See? Mighty to save someone. And he said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So he came to save, like it says in Matthew 1:21, and she shall bring forth a son, he shall save his people from their sins. Who is that? The 12 tribes of Israel. It says, verse 2, asking a question, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why are your clothes red? And thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat, in the wine fat, like you stomping on grapes. And the grape juice is going all over your body. Asking the question. This is what he said. The answer, I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger. You know, he's going to tread them in his anger. And trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. You wonder why his garment was red, why you see it was red in Revelation 19th chapter? Because their blood going to be sprinkled upon his garments. And I will stain all my raiment. Just so you know, it's not talking about no grapes. Listen. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart. And the heart is the mind. And the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. This is war. Listen what he say. And I will tread down the people. This is going to be people blood. That's going to be all over his garment. The Edomites' blood. And I will tread down the people in mine anger. This war. The judgment and war he's coming to do. And make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. So I got to deal with him first, because now that you know that the Most High is a man of war, Mashak Shai is a man of war, then you got to look, he's going to bring down their strength to the earth. So we're going to go to one more just to show you prophecy. This is what they prophesied, so you'll know the prophecy. In 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. When we say we'll bring their strength is what? Their army, the navy, the marines, the air force, of all these nations that's in power today. He said going to bring their strength down to the earth. That's their strength, their military might. And this is what he says concerning that. Look at 2nd Ezra 13. It says, start at verse 3 in the Apocrypha. It says, and I beheld, and that that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So we got to deal with that. Remember, he's coming with thousands of heaven, and the thousands of heaven is defined in Revelations 9 and 16. The thousands of heaven are the angels. So we're looking at wars here, but this is the war. That's just the last, the final war. Then we'll come back to the justification of war, since the Most High is a man of war, and his hand is in everything. So how many angels? It said the thousands of heaven. This is the number in Revelation 9:16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. That's 200,000, 200 million angels. 200,000 is 200 million angels that's coming with him. So you see here, it says in the Apocrypha, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Y'all mind me, y'all bear with me, because my Apocrypha is real old. The words kind of like it's been used, it's faded. It says, and wheresoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth fadeth when it filleth the fire. See? So they're going to be burned up that hear his voice. They're all going to be burned. Just like I said, you have a great sacrifice to Basra, wherever they are. They got the fattest of the land. And they're everywhere. So, if you, and the speaker, see how it correlates with what he said he's going to do. And his anger and his fury when he come to make war. And when you look at Revelations 19 and 15, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. See, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which is the law of the Most High. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Most High. So now, going back to 2nd Ezra 13, says, verse 5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there were gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, some of the four corners of the earth. This the army, the navy, the marines, the air force of all these nations will be joined together from the four corners of the earth to subdue the man that came out of the sea. See, they're going to get together to try and fight on Mashiach Yahushua. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not, because it's really not a mountain or a hill. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together, the army, the navy, the marines, and the air force of all these nations in the four corners of the earth, to subdue him, were so afraid. They're going to be afraid. And yet does fight. See? So, you talking about the army, the navy, the marines, the air force. They're going to be afraid, but they're in the orders to fight. And they're going to fight. They're going to be afraid, but they're going to fight. But Mashiach Yahushua, you got to understand too. So, you don't have no misunderstanding. This is what he told us in Isaiah 47:3. You talking about how they fight in different countries and so forth. They prepared to fight a Mashiach Yahushua. This is what he told us in Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. That's what we're doing as Hebrew Israelites, revealing all the wickedness that they're doing. Exposing them. That's what it means, exposing them for the wickedness that they're doing. Yeah. Thy shame shall be seen. See, I will take vengeance, as we're reading about. And I will not, I repeat, I will not meet thee as a man. So he ain't coming as no man. He coming in his angelic power. That's why I said they're going to be afraid. And yet they're going to fight. Listen. I mean, they got enough movies out to program the people's minds to think they're going to be able to win. They're always fighting something from outer space somewhere. Right? That's going to be a Mashiach Yahushua and 200 million angels. It says, 2nd Ezra 13:9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword. Remember, he's not coming to meet him as a man, he's coming in his angelic power. He neither lifted up hand nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. See? But listen. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been, a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. And what happened? And burned them up. Everyone. He didn't save not one. He said he burned every one of them up. So that upon a sudden of a innumerable multitude, nothing repeat, nothing, one more time for understanding, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Israel was afraid. This is what's written. You can't change it. Psalms 37, reading verse 20. Psalms 37 and 20. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua shall be as the fat of lambs, as we've been reading. They shall consume into smoke, shall they consume away. As we just read. That's the end result. So after that, everybody gonna be subject to Israel. And war, because that's all. The Most High is a warrior, so that's all he talk about. That's all. He the ones that is making sure that it go down. It's going down.
Can I ask a question now?
Yes, I was. You have a question about the same thing we talking about? Yeah. What's that? What brother in Alabama? You mean in Alabama? Because I mean that. Look at King David. King David, what did he do? He was a warrior. How many years? I was going to him. 40 years. He killed everybody. He couldn't. That's why he couldn't build. What?
I was just kind of confused because Moses, he killed an Egyptian because the Egyptian was mistreating an Hebrew Israelite.
But that's not why the Moses. Yeah, but what about Moses?
Well, I don't know.
Right, well, you got to listen. The Most High, look at Numbers, the 12th chapter. This is Moses. This is Moses. You want to say about Moses? Moses didn't make it to the Promised Land because he killed that Egyptian. Moses, this is Numbers 12, and I'm going to read verse 6, as far as Moses is concerned. And he said, hear now me, hear my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Most High shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Most High was kindled against them. Talking about Miriam and Aaron that spoke against Moses. I'm saying the Most High dealing with them just like he's dealing with Moses. And he departed. Okay? So, but Moses had already, remember Moses killed. Moses, listen. Look. Are you gonna let me answer? Are you gonna let me answer? Are you gonna let me answer or not? Are you going to let me answer or not? Because you're talking. I'm answering your question. I haven't finished yet. I understand what you said. He killed the Egyptian, right? But when did the Most High choose him to come be the deliverer of Israel? Before he killed the Egyptian or after?
That was afterwards.
Right. So if it was such a wrong sin for him to do that, then why would he choose him? He's just telling you here how Moses was more meeker than any man. That was the Most High's, who the Most High was dealing with. He didn't. Right, that's what David did. That's why I was going to David. That's why I was going to David. Just a moment. I wasn't finished with her question. I wasn't finished with her question because I was just dealing with one part of it. So far, I just dealt with the end. In the end, how the Most High is a man of war. I dealt with the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua because she was asking about people that's in the army and so forth. I'm not finished with her question yet. Hold on. Because I asked if there was any questions initially, and you ain't have no questions. So now that somebody have a question, now you have a question. So you gotta wait, please. So let's look at King David. In 2 Samuel's, go to 2 Samuel's. It was 22. 2 Samuel's 22. Yeah. 2 Samuel's 22. And let's start at verse 33. It says, "The Most High is my strength and power, and he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. He teaches my hands to war." See? David was a warrior. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. That's how strong he was. He said a bow of steel was broken by his arms. He taught his hands to war. Look at go to Acts. Go to the book of Acts. So you understand, the Most High brought a Mashiach Yahushua through the lineage of King David. And so we can't really be too anxious to put people down because we come from a degenerate type of family. Whether y'all realize it or not. Bunch of misfits. But I guess we the best of the worst. But nevertheless, oh man. Most I said this. Go to Acts the 13th chapter, okay? Speaking of King David, you see how his hands were taught to war, and he broke a bar of steel with his arms. Look at Acts 13 and 22. It says, "And when he had removed him," meaning Saul, "he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David, the son of Jesse, a man after mine own heart," which is his mind, "which shall fulfill all my will." See? So what David was doing was fulfilling the will of the Most High. And he said he's going to beat down his enemies and his foes. And that's what he did. He had war for 40 years. That's what King David did. He was at war for 40 years. Yep. And he was a man after the Most High's heart. Remember, who was the Most High? He's a man of war. Look, go to Psalm 89 and 20. It said, I have found David, my servant, with my holy oil have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established, mine arm also shall strengthen him. See, he broke a bow of steel with his arm. The enemy shall not exact upon him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. And I will beat down his foes. We say David is a man after the Most High's heart. Most High shall fulfill all the Most High's will. And I will beat down his foes, which is his enemies, before his face, and plague them that hate him. See? Once again, he said, and I will beat down his foes, that's his enemies, before his face, and plague them that hate him. For my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him, and in my name shall his horn, his power be exalted. So, you know, that's a lot of times you look at King David, the lineage that Amashak came to was through King David. So we've always dealt with war. And the Most High, he's in the war. He's a man of war. He's in the wars. Look at Exodus. Remember, he's a man of war, so you know, people got to get out of this mindset that the Most High is just all loving, all love. He loved to love, and he loved to make war. He loved war. He's a man of war, as we read in Exodus 15 and 3. Don't get it twisted. Either one. How you think you're going to set up righteousness on this earth? How you think he got a name in Egypt? Look at Exodus 14 and 3. No, 13. Exodus 14 and 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Most High, which he will show to you today. For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. The Most High shall fight for you. You hear that? It's like he's going to fight for us. Say, the Most High shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. You're going to be quiet. The Most High going to fight for you. Listen to what he said. Verse 15. And the Most High said unto Moses, wherefore criest thou unto me? What you cry to me for? Speaking to the children of Israel, that they go forward. But lift thou up thy rod, and stretch out thine hand over the sea, and divide it. And the children of Israel shall go on dry ground through the midst of the sea. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I, hear that? The Most High will get me honor. Just like he will get honor, and we just read about, through Mashiach Yahushua, to the glory of the Most High, when he bring judgment and war on this earth, to set righteousness on this earth, and that the Most High gonna be all in all. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall follow them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his hosts, that's his army, upon his chariots and upon his horsemen. And Egyptians shall know that I am the Most High. And these Egyptians that's ruling over us now, our oppressors, they gonna know that we have a power. His name is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob forever, and a memorial to all generations. Because Egypt doesn't mean anything but captivity, slavery, and bondage. So these Egyptians shall know that I am the Most High when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. Listen, and the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. Now, who's this angel? Who is this angel of the Most High? Let's find out. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. Since we're talking about Moses putting forth his rod and opening up the Red Sea. 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. Let's find out who this angel of the Most High is. That seems to be a mystery to a lot of people because they don't realize who it is. But it tells you clearly here. Let's start at verse 1. 1 Corinthians 10 and 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant. That means not knowing. How that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea. We just reading about it. Most are giving the instructions. And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. That's why I tell you that the angel of the Most High, there was a cloud, there was a chariot of the Most High. When you read Psalms 104 and 3, back of his chariots, that's his vehicles. Let's get it so I won't quote it wrong. Psalms 104, hold that, we'll come back there. Psalms 104 and 3. Who maketh the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots. See? So when you see cloud, it's talking about a chariot or a vehicle, what they call a spaceship, a flying saucer, a UFO, an unidentified flying object, what we call them identified flying objects. So when you see here in 1 Corinthians 10 and 1, it says, Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant that all our fathers were under the cloud, which is a chariot or a vehicle or IF or identified flying object, and all passed through the sea. Talking about we the 12 tribes of Israel. And were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea. And did all eat the same spiritual meat. We're looking for who this angel of the Most High is. It says, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, the Spirit, an angel. Let's go back to Psalms 104 and 4, who maketh his angels spirits. See? His minister is a flaming fire, and the fire is the word of the Most High, operating under the instructions of the Most High. All angels. It says, 1 Corinthians 10 and 4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that rock, that spiritual rock, that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach. See? That rock was a Mashiach that we're reading about in Exodus. This angel of the Most High. Exodus 14 and 19. And the angel of the Most High, which went before the camp, he said that rock was a Mashiach Yahushua of Israel, removed and went behind them. And the pillar of the cloud went from before them their face. That's the chariot. And stood behind them. So it went behind us. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. It's in the middle. In between us. And it was a cloud and darkness to them. But it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Most High, what Mashiach caused the sea to go back by a strong wind, east wind, all that night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass, this warfare, came to pass that in the morning watch, the Most High, Mashiach, looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians, troubled the armies of the Egyptians that was pursuing us, and took off their chariot wheels. Who is this? Who did this? Verse 19, the angel of the Most High. Who did it say it was? 1 Corinthians 10 and 4. And did all drink the same drink, spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, that angel that followed them, and that rock was a Mashiach, Yahushua. So what did he do? Verse 25 of Exodus 14, and took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily. So that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Most High fighteth for them against the Egyptians. You hear that? The Most High was fighting for us, we the children of Israel, against the Egyptians. And the Most High said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, and upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength. When the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Most High overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. See, and the Most High, through a Mashiach Yahushua, overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. Understand this, the Most, ain't nobody ever seen the Most High. See, he said, heaven is my throne. And he said, it tell you in the second Ezra, look, St. John 1 and 18. No man have seen the Most High at any time. Hear that? No man have seen the Most High at any time. The only begotten Son of Mashiach Yahushua, which is in the bosom of the Father, he have declared him. So, nobody's seen the Most High. But this is the Most High, he's everything. He said his throne, where he sit at, or his throne, is inestimable. He say, heaven is my throne. So if you ever want to look at the throne of the Most High and look at heaven, he say, heaven, he say, hey, look at the sky. And then you go somewhere else. You want to go overseas, look at the sky there. You want to go somewhere else, look at the sky there. He said, that's his throne. He said, what place you going to look? He said, get Acts the 7th chapter and verse 48. Acts 7 and 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as said the prophet. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. He said, heaven is his throne, and earth is his footstool. What house will ye build me? Said the Most High. Or what is